welcome back everyone to Thursday live Q&A session. Anything could happen. That's part of the fun. But hopefully many of you got to see the video about bars on Monday. And that's probably stimulated a number of questions that today's all about us trying to help answer for you. One thing that did come up from Monday, I forgot the draft house, didn't I? So I absolutely apologize to anyone who loves the draft house. The draft house is still on board. I promise you it hasn't gone anywhere. And the other thing that I was made aware of, that I made a fatal error. I said that our fresh pressed juices were available in the athletics club bar instead of gin and tonic. So sorry, I was a deck away. But gin and tonic is where you get your fresh pressed juices. So you can roll out of the gym, the B complex, and grab a juice. So apologies for those two omissions. Taylor, we've got a couple of questions, haven't we, to kick us off, while people might want to add extras as we go along.
Yep, I'll start it with the first one. So one that came in, can you share more about the menus, including our mocktails and beers?
We certainly can, and I'm going to throw to some friends to help me out with this. At its highest level, what we said is, we've got a number of venues, which is all about choice, choice, choice. The same goes for our beers and our non-alcoholic cocktails. We kind of mentioned that non-alcoholic cocktails don't have to be sweet, juicy drinks anymore. They can also be some very sophisticated drinks with incredible distilled non-alcoholic spirits that are available nowadays. Or you might choose to have some incredible classics which taste just as yummy without the alcohol. So things like a Virgin Bloody Mary or a Virgin Pina Colada are just as delicious without the alcohol too. Same with our beers. We have an incredible selection of beers. Draft House, the bar I forgot, is the place for a beer lover. Just tons of beers, 8 beers on tap, tons of beers in the coolers. And if you like anything from light beer, non-alcoholic beer, or you like your ales or your fruit beer, we've got something for you. And so I'll pass over, but whether you love your Winwood beers, lovely local craft beer brewery in Miami, you'll spy those on board. If you love your Heineken, you'll spy a lot of Heineken on board. But if I throw to the Cole and Charles, they've got some sample menus here from 3 of our menus that will help explain some of the non-alcoholic cocktail choices we've got available, as well as the rich array of beers we also have.
Yeah, it's really, we're an adult by design product, and just because you're an adult doesn't mean you also have to indulge in something alcoholic. So to kind of satisfy that and to create that come as you are approach, that proof-free mocktail, non-alcoholic, offerings are more than just water, more than just a juice, right? So we do have some beautiful cocktails that are curated based on the space. Some spaces are a little more technical, like how we have on the screen right now with the test kitchen. So these amazing kind of proof-free, drinks that add texture and flavor, and using non-alcoholic distillates like seedlip, that kind of give that same viscosity. And then we have some other ones where, it might be as Chris mentioned, a virgin, kind of a pina colada or a daiquiri, where it makes more sense to have that at the pool, something to refresh and kind of cool you down. But each space has something curated to that. Leading into the beers, we have Heineken 0.0, the true non-alcoholic 0.0, not 0.11111, beer on board. So you'll find that located not always in the beer selection, but sometimes under our non-alcoholic selections. And that's something where you can find your hydration, get that taste of beer, relax, enjoy, and never be judged, right? With the Draft House is our kind of the anchor in our storm of beers across the ship. But with that, we have our biggest selection there, and that is, agreeing with Chris, where we have some great local Miami, since Scarlett is coming out of Miami. The homage you have to some local great breweries like Winwood, also tying into the craft beer scene, right? And that's local. It's also national and international. And then we balance that out with, kind of the mainstream, your Heinekens, your Coronas, some crowd favorites, but also leading to that discovery of some great craft offerings as well.
Does everyone remember our special red brew that we've got brewed specially for us from Wynwood Brewery? Does everyone remember the name?
I do.
Me too.
Oh, wow. Anyone else? Shove in the comments. What do you think the name of our special red brew is? It's exclusive to Virgin Voyages. Do you remember it? We announced it last year. Straight the course.
That's right.
Yes. That's the one.
And this was actually a great collaboration with Wynwood Brewing here in Wynwood, Miami. It's the oldest craft beer brewery in Miami. And a lot of it was, the quick story behind it was, we have English descents and origins, that goes with the brand of Virgin. So we took a EPA, an English Pale Ale. A lot of people know IPA, Indian style Pale Ale, but the EPA is a little bit softer, a little bit more rounded. They tend to be actually more of like a blonde or lightly, kind of like brown style of beer for the color. But we did add a little hint and kiss from Scarlett herself that gives it a nice little kind of red, color to it to kind of play with where we're coming from because we're playful. But it drinks very nice, has some citrus hops in there. So it's an easy drinker all day long.
As an English person, Charles, I've never been described more perfectly. Soft, round, and a bit blonde.
The Trade the Course cans will actually be in both. So we have it at the draft house on drafts. It's a great compliment there. And then we have it in cans, not in the bottles. I mean, a lot of it too is cans when it comes to sustainability and recycling is a way better option for us. So not to say that we won't have bottles on board as well. Again, it goes back to that curated experience of where we have, more that celebratory, dining experience, like we mentioned, like the wake and test kitchen and things, but also we have kind of more the casual experiences at the pools and St. Louis Cannon. But overall, we wanted to make sure this was packages in the most sustainable measures possible.
Charles, I throw in Grant's club to just make sure that even when you just want a cup of coffee, you can still add a shot to it. Mm-hmm. Charles, make sure that we take care of you everywhere.
Yeah, the Austin Intelligentsia coffee beans that we're using on board, it's such an amazing company. I could keep talking on about them, but they are the grandfathers of direct trade and working directly with farms. We actually have our own special brew that we're doing with them as well. But yes, you can definitely add a shot, as we say, at the bottom of this menu. You'll see it at the bottom of the menus on board the menu boards on the ship as well, to kind of tweak things up and kind of take your coffee to that next level, or to make the day bearable if you need to hide it in your coffee. But it is there you go. But yes, we do have the opportunity to create that adult alcoholic experience even in the specialty coffee shops with the add a shot.
I love that. And we were able to make our shakes can become a little bit boozy in the social club as well. We can potentially spike some of the shakes in there. So we can go naughty. This is the naughty and nice vitamin C. If you fancy being a bit naughty, we've got all of the alcoholic delights you'd expect. And if you want a bit of nice and you want a bit of detox, then you have an incredible drink selection still on offer. You're not excluded from the incredible selection just because you don't fancy a drink at some point during the day or voyage.
Great. So the next question, what time do the bars close? And can you get a drink anywhere 24/7?
Shall I generically answer this and you correct me, Charles and Nicole, if I'm wrong? We try and have a philosophy on Virgin Voyages, and it's a bit of a naughty one, but we try and keep venues as open as long as there is a vibe in those venues. So you'll probably find that the Manor is the last bar to close on board because there might be a vibe that's carrying on and we might be able to extend it until maybe the early hours of the morning. You can always get a drink 24/7 through Ship Eats, but you'll probably find the last bar is the Manor, depending on what's going on. But Charles, Nicole, I mean, there are so many bars to label when each one closes is probably a bit difficult, but is that kind of the philosophy we're taking?
Yeah, I mean, actually, for jumping back to Ground Stub, where you can add a shot, we open at 7 a.m. so we don't judge. For the morning need for the hair of the dog, as they call it. But yes, the Manor will be open till about 3 a.m. Also, the casino bar. So for those that don't necessarily want that boom boom boom, we can have the cha-ching 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 of the casino. Helping with the shaking of the martinis and fun drinks there. The bars will work on a staggered effect. Not everything will be open all at the same time. Not everything will be open up at 7 a.m. and then closing at 3. A lot of it was we really wanted to be true to what the concept is, and then spatially too, right? If you're in the Caribbean and it's beautiful outside, are you going to be inside in a dark corner? Maybe some. We'll have some offerings, but majority will be open for the outside bars in those areas. When you get to dining times, the bars, because we have bars in every single restaurant, will be open, that will mimic the restaurant hours. And then, as we get into late night, we do have some additional bars, beyond the Manor and the casino that I mentioned, that will be going until, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning as well. But yes, Ship Eats, you can always get a cocktail 24/7. We do have, kind of simulates what you could get in the room, but also some full bottle offerings for wine and champagne. And, if you did want a specific Manhattan or drink like this or gimlets, we will do our best to accommodate.
And just from a narrative point of view, when we talk to sailors, just so you guys are aware, when we talk externally, whether that's to an individual on a telephone, to a first mate, anyone externally, to our friends, and through our marketing, of course, what you'll see we always try and do is create balance in the way we string a story together or tell a story in our marketing flow. So today we are being very focused on bars, and we are talking about drinks, of course. But when you translate that into your external communications, just remind yourself about, have you created a story of balance? What we really don't want to come across as a brand is a full-on party, drink all night, it's Vegas, it's crazy, I'm drinking at 7 a.m, I'm drinking at 3 a.m, oh my God, this place is a booze hellhole, I need to run away right now. And just be really conscious about the stories you tell to people, that if you skew with just one story and you just skew to bars and, oh my God, you get a drink 24/7, just think about the picture you're building in that person's brain. I kind of talk about it as when you create a story, you're giving jigsaw puzzle pieces to someone. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're selling Virgin Voyages or talking about Virgin Voyages. Think about the mix of jigsaw puzzle pieces you're going to put in someone's mind, and try, if you can, not to just give them one, because it will skew their view of what our experience is about. And our experience is one that is you live your voyage the way you want to sail, and how you want to live your vacation. And you can pick and choose from all of these awesome things. It's not one or the other. It's a beautiful balance, and you dip into what you want. So it's just a little bit of word of caution, because we have had some feedback at times that we can sometimes come across as very playful and very bar orientated, and that for some people can be very off-putting. So we just need to make sure that we always give a balanced story whenever we're talking to sailors. So it's always a nice balanced mix. Think of that jigsaw puzzle. Have you put all of the jigsaw puzzle pieces down? Just a tip there.
Awesome. So I know Andrew had a question about approaching the bar versus table service. I think this wraps into our Voyage Well strategy. So this question that we had also feeds into that. So what will be stocked in our standard cabin mini bars, and how is that different?
Should we go for the original? When we can sail normally, it's a lovely minibar that has minibar things in it, and we kind of thought of it as a little bit of, when you're kind of getting ready to go out and you're showering, you're getting dressed, you're glamming up. It's nice to have a beer or a glass of wine and kind of get ready for the night ahead. If I say party starter, I'm gonna I'm going to tell myself off because I'm not really following my tip that I just said, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, it's another party. But you just want to relax and get into the night. And so the mini bar was built around pre-mixed cocktails, wines, and beers that allowed you to do that. And I'll let Charles and Nicole chip in as well. But just so you know, Voyage Well, to ensure that every single bottle and can and item in the minibar in 1,400 cabins ish is sanitized every turnaround is not viable for us. So in our standard cabins, we won't be offering the minibar during Voyage Well. Well, let's just say Voyage Well will always be Voyage Well. We're always going to Voyage Well, but with the additional Voyage Well COVID precautions. Our Rockstar Quarter bars will be stocked. So they get a full bar, they get a full mixology set. So they'll find cool stuff in their drawer in their bar to create cocktails and other beautiful things like that. They will be stocked during Voyage Well COVID precautions. That's high level. Charles, do you want to add more flavor to what I said in detail to what are in the bars, in the rooms, the cabins?
I'll bring a little salt and pepper here. Yes, with in the standard cabins at the beginning, we are going to kind of suspend and hold those off, just because we take Voyage Well and our response to that very seriously, and we want to provide just a safe environment. We don't want to convolute or add additional stresses on vacation, right? Normally, the standard cabins, yes, as Chris said, will have a great selection of some beers, some wines, some craft house cocktails, which are made by an award-winning mixologist, Charles Jolie, great name. Also some as well. And then still a couple retail items. We have our, kind of intimacy kits and wellness kits, so everything to kind of grease the lifestyle wheels of whatever direction you're going for that day or evening. But we will suspend that at the beginning. For the suites, we have a beautiful bar. I mean, they are quite stunning, and we have a great selection of half bottles of spirits and wines and beers and mixers and everything else. Bar kits, as Chris has next to him there, with his lovely little flamingo straws, and everything that glassware, everything that a suite sailor would need to create their own little social distance party within their room. Right, for this. Those, will be sanitized from the glassware to the bar kits to everything on every single turnaround. So we will make sure that we maintain that standard. I believe Andrew had asked a question regarding, can I go up to the bar and order a drink? Yes, you can. We will have social distancing parameters and measures, in effect. We hope that these are temporary, but we want to be respectful for whatever the length is needed to maintain this. But we will have areas where you can go order a drink, and sit at the bar. Will everybody be able to go up there? No, we have to be respectful of these social distancing parameters. And I like to say social distancing, I actually don't like to say that. I really like to say physical distancing, because we still want to be social on board.
I agree.
And you can still get the table.
That's right, Charles. It's a really good point, actually. When you hear Virgin Voyages talk, and you'll probably read it, we actually do say physical distancing, because we don't believe distancing is social, and we're a social brand. So distancing is physical. And so all of our communications, when we talk about that, is we're implementing physical distancing procedures to keep people safe. And we understand that doesn't always feel social. So you actually will see that written down for us. When we talk about it, we call it physical distancing, not social distancing. But we're trying to create a social, lovely experience whilst physical distancing too.
And one last thing too, I mean, it's something too where, while we suspend the standard menu bars just at the beginning, you can still order Ship Eats, and Ship Eats has all the offerings from there. It is 24/7. If there is a need, you get it immediately, delivered, to you in a very clean, sustainable manner, as well. It won't have that instant gratification, but we'll provide that semi-instant gratification. And you can do everything through the app. So for me, the last time I've actually called a place to order a pizza or order, I can't even remember. It's always through the app, so we can still, have that physical distancing and even the social distancing for that needed, as you want.
What we're hoping to do, talking about the app, Ship Eats, when it launches, was very much about centered around being able to order food and drink to your room. what we're trying to do is get drinks delivery ordering when you're on the pool deck, and try out that and see how that works from an operational perspective. But long term, Ship Eats really does have the feel of Uber Eats for us. We're trying to find a way that in appropriate spaces, how do you give sailors food and drink options that they can order from the palm of their hand without having to get up and interrupt their conversations with their friends? So long term, we are looking at how the Sailor app is going to really facilitate that kind of instant need to get stuff rather than having to walk up to places to get stuff. Plus, we have our amazing crew walking around looking after you. So many ways to get a drink or something, a bite to eat if you want. So I was drilling through Charles's ceiling as we speak.
So we have a few questions that came through in chat. Zach asks, with so many new choices for drinks on board, will there be a tasting class or a tasting menu?
If any of you, well, Charles, do you want to answer some of this? We do have the test kitchen. The test kitchen, so you know as well, as a beautiful, incredible culinary experience for dinner, is actually been designed to create classes during the day. And those classes could be anything from coffee cupping, mixology classes, learning how to plate a dish to look beautiful for Instagram. There are many things we can do in Test Kitchen during the day that's actually really playful and fun, and it's actually quite an active space. And we will roll out activities like that once we get ourselves settled in daily life of sailing. So tasting opportunities can come through those kind of classes if you were doing a wine tasting class there or coffee cupping class, etc. I've always experienced when I've been on Scarlet Lady, the incredible bar crew saying to me when I didn't understand a drink, they're like, actually, I'll give you a little taste to see if this is something that you think is incredible. All the time it was incredible, and so I bought the full drink. And so you have informal ways of being able to taste things, which is just our rock star service philosophy. But Charles, are there any other opportunities where I can go tasting around the ship?
Yeah, actually, we have through our lovely entertainment team, we have a activation with our kind of pub crawl, right? Our so yes. We can our grog walk, as we say, which will take you through a few different areas, and you'll be able to try with a lovely host or hostess, kind of taking you through as well. Yes, the shot for shot is the activation that we're doing in the test kitchen, and that will have a varying range from classics to nouveau as well. A phase 2, and this is something I'm going to throw out there, not for phase 1, but if there's interest and we see that movement, is to do a passport of kind of a drinking passport to take you through different areas, and we can make that almost like a fun kind of playful way to explore the ship, as well as try some fun libations and beers and wines and proof free as well.
One of the best tasting experiences I had when I was coming across the Atlantic was actually in the test kitchen, and the sommelier. Actually, we opted to go for the sommelier choice during the meal, and he was incredible, and he matched our drinks to every single dish through the test kitchen experience. And that was a lovely way of actually, I think it really enhanced the experience in the test kitchen if you do it that way, because it really was paired perfectly to the dish, and you got to taste a different drink with every plate that came out. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and we have that not just for wine, but for beer, spirit free or proof free, and for cocktails, in the test kitchen as well.
There we go.
Awesome. So next question, another voyage well. So as each venue will only be allowed a limited amount of sailors, will the app display when a venue has reached capacity?
So the way the main venues that are capacity constrained are things like restaurants, and there will probably, well, not probably, there will be additional capacity constraints on places like theatre, fitness classes, in order that we can maintain proper physical distancing, not social distancing, physical distancing. And so the app will automatically be updated with the correct inventory in the back end. And so when I make a reservation, I can see those reservations I can see when there are slots available. Or some places might have a virtual queue. So our restaurants will have virtual queues for sure. And we're looking at actually rolling out virtual queues for other experiences as we go along. But if a venue is full, then the venue has the opportunity to turn on its wait list, its virtual queue. And then I enter the virtual queue, and I can go and have a drink somewhere else if I was waiting for dinner. And I will get a text message from the maitre d' when my table's ready. And I have about 15 minutes or so to be able to finish my drink where I am and get to the restaurant and sit down. So that they're the most capacity constrained in that respect. Most other places, as we are now, you might find that it's controlled through seating. So if I walk into a venue, let's say a pool area, if there isn't a sun lounger available, then we might need to implement a policy, whereas that's not an area that's free to hang out in. There will be some venues where if there's a seat free, go and sit down, chill out, cool stuff. But if there's not a seat free, well, we've got an incredible ship at your fingertips. There are many other places to find somewhere. So some will be discoverable, and you'll just have to see first come, first serve if there's a space for you. And others will have the correct inventory put into the Sailor app, so that you never rock up and are turned away. You'll always know, yeah, that's my reservation, I'm confirmed, or I'm on a wait list and the wait a virtual queue, and the queue here is I've got a 20-minute wait, no problem.
Great. Another question. Can you talk through the Shake for Champagne experience? Delivery time, delivered anywhere or just certain areas, and how many glasses do they get?
Oh my God.
Charles, you love this subject.
I wish I had it. I could show you how it works. If I had the app and it was open, the Sailor app open, I wish I had that question earlier, actually, because I would have done it. Alfie showed me how to do it in the test app, but I don't have it. But it really is as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. You give your phone a good shake. It knows it's being shaken, and the screen dissolves in front of your eyes when you've got the Sailor app open, and it will expose a big button. And basically, I click the button which says push for champagne, and I'll be presented with one bottle. And is it true? It's 4 glasses are automatically delivered with the bottle, and I just hit go. Yes, please. And a fun animation happens, and there's a lady in a bath who actually turns into Scarlet Lady, and her mermaid's tail pops out of the bath, which is kind of your confirmation that your champagne's on the way. And we can deliver that anywhere on the ship. But how? Is you've got to have your wearable on. So you need to have enabled or not turned off the location device, location finding settings in your app. As long as you've kept those active and you're wearing your wearable, sorry, we don't call it the wearable anymore. Working title, the band. If you're wearing your band, then we'll be able to find you.
And is it true? I think there are some places it's off limits, like the gym.
Yeah, so there's then the reasonable and responsible serving of alcohol. Yeah, we're not going to start serving it to you on the aft stairs. You're probably someone's gonna trip over you when you're on the stairs. And yeah, if you're in the gym, probably not the best place to consume alcohol in a gym. So there will be reasonable and responsible service of alcohol procedures put in place. And if a sailor is slightly in the wrong place, let's put it that way, where we don't think it's responsible to deliver a drink there, we'll help show them to an area where it is responsible to sit down safely and have a drink.
And just chiming in there to the stairways, and then also public bathrooms and restrooms. We're playful, we're not scandalous. So we don't want to create any drama in the toilet, as they say. But yeah, for most areas on board the ship, you will be able to access it, just being respectful of common areas, and then also evacuation paths or emergency areas as well. We don't want to block those.
And will the app give any information about delivery time, or do we usually share a standard time that they can expect it?
It will say it's on its way. We don't want to set an expectation. It's definitely coming in 2 minutes. Oh my God, it's 10 minutes now. It's just, it's on its way, and it's a priority. We'll do our best to get it to you as soon as practically possible. The way the technology kind of works, it kind of works out where you are on the ship and send the signal to the closest bar that has champagne that can deliver it to you. So it's not like you're going to be at one end of the ship and the champagne's coming from the total other end of the ship. The idea is the technology routes it. I'd say routes in English, but it's routing in American, isn't it? Routes it to a bar that has champagne as close to you as possible. So you shouldn't have to wait too long. But we're not saying it's definitely 2 minutes and you can get your timer out. And if we're 2 minutes late, you can get really angry. It's just like, it's on its way and it's being fast tracked to you.
Awesome. That was all the questions we received in chat. I did get one on the side in a text message. So they wanted to know, will we have any happy hour specials or import specials on drinks?
Charles, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, right now, no, because we are bringing the best prices at sea. I mean, if you're $5 for Heineken, gratuity included, $7, for a Beefeater or a Buffalo Trace, gratuity.
It's happy hour all day, Charles.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we'll see. I mean, because people also for value within the value, and I think you'll see that in activations and some of our great shot for shots. We also have some great kind of surprise and delight moments, which will surprise and delight and not show all the cards. As well, that will provide added value.
Awesome. I think that was all the questions we got. And of course, if anybody has any questions they think about after this, you could send them my way. I'll talk to Chris and Charles and get that answer.
And what was it? What I did forget to mention is some of those sample menus you saw earlier. I don't know if all of you got to see those. They might have been a bit small on our screen. Taylor's working on a plan to put some sample menus into Knowledge. If you've got access to Knowledge, if you're one of our sales team, VTS team. So they're coming soon. They're not there just yet, but you will be able to get access to cool stuff like you can see on screen right now. So if you ever wanted to peruse a menu, or a sailor was super interested for some reason in the precise mocktail selection in a certain restaurant, you should be able to access a sample menu to give them an idea of what that's all about. Plus it has prices so you can actually see as well that we're true to our word about fair pricing.
Yep. All right, well, thank you, Chris. And we will have our next ship talk in 2 weeks. Topic TBD. And if you guys have any topics you want us to cover, just let us know.
Awesome. Thanks for your questions, guys. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. And as Taylor said, please do, you shout about what you want to hear about next. We're here for you. So you tell us what you want us to talk about and give you more of a deep dive into.
Thank you.
Happy Thursday, everyone. Bye-bye.